Welcome to Inside the Boardroom. I'm Devin Murrigan. I want to throw the spotlight today on Monumental Energy. It's a clean and green junior energy company focused on exploring lithium brine deposits in Chile and investing in gas production assets in New Zealand. Well, it's a pleasure to welcome Maximilian Sali, Director of Monumental Energy. Max, thanks very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start with something that is looking so promising at the moment. I mean, this gas well in New Zealand, some good results coming out of there of late, and good news for your investment in New Zealand Energy Corp, I suppose.
Yeah, so, the first thing you said is originally we started off with having a solar in Chile, and those delays led us to having excess capital to invest in other things. And so we ended up investing in another company that was drilling a gas well in New Zealand. That has paid off significantly. They have completed the well. They've tied the well into their production facility, and we should know in the next week or two what those flow rates are. But everything so far looks very good. And the price of gas in New Zealand is about $15 to $20 Canadian per MCF versus Canada, where it's $3. And so you get a significant premium for the price of gas because they've been so delayed in drilling new gas wells. And what New Zealand Energy Corp will do is pay a dividend to shareholders, such as Monumental, in the near future, which allows us non-dilutive extra cash. So it's been a great investment for us, which turned into us doing our own oil and gas deal with them, which I spoke to you when we were halted about 2 months ago. And so now we're trading again, and here we are.
Well, I tell you what, it's not only you that's impressed. It looks like shareholders were impressed because right about the end of October or so last year, your stock really took off. I mean, what was the driver there?
Yeah, so we completed the fundamental acquisition December 31st. We came back trading. The stock was halted at about 4.5 cents. We've had a tremendous 2 weeks. We hit up to 28 cents yesterday. I think that was a short squeeze. We closed at 15 today. So we're a triple from when we were halted. I think with the landscape happening in the United States and Trump, you've seen the price of oil come up, especially Brent crude. Brent is the most valuable oil you can get. It's above $80 a barrel. The last time Brent was above 80 was mid or early October. And we will be getting Brent crude pricing for the oil production we will have on a few oil wells that we're restarting in New Zealand. So you get the really high price for gas and the high price for oil. And I think shareholders see that value in our junior company. And that's why you've seen the stock perform the way it has.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because I was just going to put it to you that as we speak, we've got the oil price in its fourth consecutive week of gains. It just signals a strong energy market, doesn't it? How does that impact on Monumental Mining?
It impacts our bottom line. So what this transaction that we're doing, we're restarting 2 past producing wells that have produced almost 1 million barrels of oil through a royalty. So we will fund 100% of the cost to get those back online. We'll receive 75% of our cost back and then go into a 25% royalty, 75%. The nice thing about the royalty is any incurred costs New Zealand Energy has going forward are not on us. So we will receive that royalty for the rest of the time those wells produce. And going forward from there is we're currently looking at additional assets, permitted assets that we can drill with New Zealand, drilling new wells. And so, I think the timing is right with the price of oil. It's been a pleasure working with New Zealand Energy. These are permitted assets. These are past producing assets. They're very low risk. And the revenue to us, especially if you look at the currency. So, for example, all of our input costs are in New Zealand. So we have to pay up to 800,000 New Zealand to restart these wells. As of yesterday, 100,000 New Zealand was 56,000 US. And yet all our output costs are in Brent crude US pricing. And so I had a number here. A barrel of Brent crude in Canadian dollars is 116, and a barrel of Brent crude in New Zealand is 144. So when that transfers over to the bottom line, you see our financials, it really robusts our financials. So the currency increase, the price of oil, and just the political landscape for energy. It's there, and here we are at the front line to make it work for shareholders.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about volatility in the currency markets, but you gave it to me quite nicely there. Let's go back to the gas project in New Zealand, the Tariki project. What's next for that project now? I mean, do we know how much gas it will eventually produce?
So if you look on the New Zealand Energy presentation on their website, they have some estimates. Their plan is to flow the gas out of this well, pay us a dividend or pay shareholders a dividend, and then New Zealand Energy Corp will become a gas storage facility. And so what that means is all the gas they're producing now is pre-sold to your local gas company, like we in BC have our Fortis BC, whoever you pay for your gas for your house, and that goes all to the New Zealand market. And then once that gas well is drained, the gas company will actually pay New Zealand to store gas in that reservoir. And when the price of gas is high, take it out. And when the price of gas is low, is keep it in. And that gas storage business over the next multiple years is worth about $100 million. So it's quite profitable. They could go and drill additional gas wells, but right now that is their business model. And so it's a very low risk business model. And what Monumental will do is work with them to drill new oil specific targets, which obviously have some gas in them, and then produce on a bigger scale in later 2025.
Yeah. As I let you go, just finally, because I think you've alluded to that workover process where, existing oil and gas wells are repaired, they're either maintained or modified to improve their performance. That's a crucial component to consider while this whole thing unfolds, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just two ways to make money, the workovers plus the gas and then the gas storage. But I think the big thing is once we've shown that we can have success from the workovers is drill a whole new well with Monumental and New Zealand. And typically, the reason I'm in New Zealand is I was a big shareholder of New Zealand Energy Corp back in 2012 when it was producing, and another company called Tag Oil. And these new wells tend to come on at 500 to 1,000 barrels a day. So your payback is 4 weeks to 6 weeks. And then you're just generating an incredible amount of revenue. And that's what we're trying to do again now.
Well, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much indeed, Maximilian Sali, Director of Monumental Energy. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you very much for having me again. Thank you.